Hi there, so today's recipe is a lemon cheesecake puff with berries. So for this recipe, you need the base recipe of the iced puff pastry, and it needs to be to this stage, so ready to roll, ready to rock and roll, okay? It's available on YouTube as a video or in the membership for the Insider Club. So I'm just going to dust this with a little extra flour because you don't want it to be sticky at all. And dust your bread mat. Again, if you don't have one of these silicone bread mats, you need to invest in one. I have them in my store and they're totally worth it, as well as a silicone spatula. So we're at the stage where we can roll this out and use it for our recipe. And this is going to bake by itself in the oven without any filling on it at this stage. So we've got our tray here with a piece of paper on it ready to go. You don't want to go longer than that or wider, obviously. So I'm going to go a little bit longer and then cut it, and then we'll do something to put it on top of each other. So I'm going to brush all of this with butter because there's not quite enough butter in that pastry. It's actually to help it stick as well, but to help our sugar stick. We're going to put a little bit of golden caster sugar on, and then we're going to put these on top of each other, one layer on top of the other. And you just need a couple of teaspoons, and you just sprinkle that on. And you know, to be honest, you could skip this bit, but it will give a really nice crunch to the pastry when you bite into it. So it's going to be a flat kind of tart without edges, without, you know, sides. And then I'm going to turn this around and put it on top. And it is slightly larger, it's not a big deal. We're going to have a really nice puffed up pastry. And again, I'm going to put sugar onto that top layer. It's going into an oven that's been preheated to 220 degrees, but when we put it into the oven, we're going to turn the temperature down because you want it to cook and be crispy without burning. Welcome back. So our pastry is in the oven getting ready for the topping. So we're going to make the topping. So it's a cheesecake, a very light lemon cheesecake topping. We're going to start off with 100 grams of the golden caster sugar. So we'll just weigh that in. And we're going to zest our lemons straight in. So 2 small lemons. And you know, there are beautiful lemons around at different times of the year. And we're going to mill the sugar and the lemon zest to create a lemon sugar, which you've probably all seen before with many recipes of mine or others. And the reason I do it this way as opposed to peeling the peel off and putting it into the bowl and then milling it is that you tend to, if you're peeling the lemon, you tend to get the pith in there, which is the white part, which it's not nice to eat. It goes into little lumps because of the oil, and it's really hard to get rid of that taste once it's in your sugar. So we're just going 10 seconds, speed 10, up we go. And now we're going to add in our cream cheese. So it's 250 grams of cream cheese. If you've downloaded the recipe, you're all over this, you know what I'm on to. And we're going to put that in and beat it with some vanilla as well, and a little bit of lemon juice. So it just depends on how big your lemons are. We don't want a lot of juice, it's just to help loosen the mixture. This is Halela vanilla bean paste. I sell it in my store. You hear me rave about it all the time. It's got no nasties in it. Go for it, it's delicious. Lick it if you dare. Just had to do that. Bit of alcohol for the day. And just a little bit of juice. I'm going to pick the one without the pips and use my reamer straight into the bowl. Try not to get it on your face or your apron. So we're going to beat it on speed 6 for 6 seconds, and then we're going to have a look and see where we're at. Open sesame. Okay, it's looking quite nice. So let me just show you that. And look, you know, I don't think it's going to need any extra lemon juice. I feel like that's quite a nice consistency because we are going to add in some mascarpone. So now we're going to add the mascarpone. Now, if you overbeat mascarpone like cream, it will split quite quickly. If you wanted to use sour cream, you could use sour cream, but it's a thinner consistency. If you wanted to use yogurt, you could use yogurt, but remember, it's a thinner consistency. And if you're using either of those things, I would suggest that you fold it in using your spatula. But we're going to weigh in 200 grams, I think. We'll see. Because you know me, it could be 225. You never know. So 200. is the recipe, to be honest. We're just going to beat that on speed 4 for a few seconds, and I'm going to then check it, okay? Because you don't want to split it, like I said. Look at that, fantastic. And you can see all the beans, and there's a little bit of lemon through it, and it just looks lovely. So this is the consistency that you need, a spreading consistency. We're going to layer this directly onto the cooked pastry that we have created earlier. So we'll just set this aside until our pastry's ready to go. So we're going to finish off our lemon cheesecake puff with berries, whatever we called it, can't remember already. So the pastry has been beautifully cooked, and you can actually see all the layers of puff there. As it cools, it flattens down a little bit, so it's actually really beautiful and high, and it's flattened down, which is fine. Otherwise you'd push it down if it was overdone. And we've got our cheesecake mixture here, which is just beautiful, and we're just going to dollop that on fully put all of it on there, and of course that will crush the pastry a little bit more as well. So you want to get all of that goodness out. This is not for the faint-hearted, let me tell you. And then you can scrape that or let the kids do it, but make sure they don't cut their tongue, okay, on that blade. Make sure you flip it off the blade. And then we're going to use the palette knife. I find it easier to spread something that's this consistency with the palette knife, and you can kind of get some nice swirls happening in there. So you can put as many berries on as you like. We're going to put strawberries, we've got blueberries and some fresh raspberries. So it depends on the time of year that you're making this as well. But just go for it, go hard. All the berries you can find. And the more the merrier. The more the berrier. Sorry. And sometimes, you know, obviously you can always get frozen berries and thaw them out and do this as well. You could make a coulis to go over the top of this. That would be stunning. I do have a raspberry lime coulis recipe on this site, so that would be a really great way to finish it off also. And then last but not least, finish it off with your blueberries in between where all the little gaps are. So start with the bigger berries, work your way down size-wise, and kind of make sure they stick into the cheesecake mixture as much as you can. Might not fit them all, that's a shame. Might have to eat some. So there we go. And then we're going to just finish it off with a little dusting of icing sugar, but that's optional for you. So just a little bit like that. How pretty. And you know what? This is full of buttery goodness. It's fruit, protein in the cheesecake. You know, it's almost low carb, high fat. No, it's not. I'm kidding. So there you go. We've done it. Our beautiful puff pastry. Hope you enjoy.